with him was the day that we unloaded him in Kentucky at the horse park. And it was starting to get dark at night. And Jose took him out in this paddock, his 5-acre paddock there that he still has now. And we slowly slipped the shank off him and started backing away, walking backwards. And John just stood there in the middle of that paddock, and he let out the loudest roar. He just whinnied his head off. And exactly what he was thinking, what was going through his mind, and I sensed it, is we were leaving him.
In retirement at the Kentucky Horse Park in Lexington, John Henry could look back on his last year of racing, 1984, as his very best. At age 9, he had the biggest money-winning season of his career, earning over $2.3 million and capping it with a second Horse of the Year title. So what made this unlikely, unwanted thoroughbred a legend?
I think his compatibility was one of his biggest assets. He just knew what he had to do, and he would beat you.
He would not lose a fight. If he got hooked in a fight and he had any energy left at all, he'd beat the horse to the wire. It didn't matter what horse it was or under what conditions. He was a tenacious fighter.
Well, I think I've ridden some horses that were maybe better horses, but none that were as professional, and none that lasted as long as he did, and none that had the charisma for the public that he did.
And he embellished the sport of kings. The ugly gelding that no one wanted had run and won for 8 years, from 1977 through 1984, at 19 different racetracks, and earned 7 year-end Eclipse championships. This thoroughbred, that once was purchased for $1,100, ended his career with earnings of more than $6.5 million. In summing up John Henry's remarkable career and his impact on thoroughbred racing, Joe Hirsch, the executive columnist of the Daily Racing Form, wrote, John Henry was not the best racehorse, not the fastest, nor the busiest, not the greatest weight carrier, not the handsomest thoroughbred, nor certainly the most personable. But John Henry was the most remarkable horse who ever raced anywhere. John Henry showcased all of those remarkable traits in the richest race of his career. Under the lights of the Meadowlands in New Jersey, the Ballantyne's Scotch Classic in the fall of 1984. Uncharacteristically, 8th the first time past the stands. 8th in the backstretch. 5th on the far turn. And then the greatness in what was to be his final race exploded.
This is John Henry out in the far outside, and he's flying, and down the stretch they come.
William Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, Act 2, Scene 5. Be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great.
Here they come to the finish, and here's John Henry in front.
Some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them.